Hey everyone, welcome back to BDG Reviews. Another episode of Sci-Fi Sunday, continuing on with our Godzilla retrospective, I guess you could say. What I'm covering today is Mothra versus Godzilla, also known as Godzilla versus the Thing, which is the American title. What this... How can I put this? The stuff that King Kong versus Godzilla did wrong, this sort of rectifies. For one, in this, Godzilla goes back to being like a proper villain. You know, he's not as goofy as he is in King Kong versus Godzilla. The basic plot of this: there's a giant typhoon, and Mothra's egg washes up, and what's the guy? He's like a mayor. No, he's like these two business guys, and essentially, they they claim the egg or whatever, and they're gonna try to make money off it. In the meanwhile, the two little fairy girl people, Mothra's little people, uh, come and say they want the egg back. No one really listens to them. Eventually, Godzilla comes in. He sees the egg. He realizes this thing's a potential threat, so he's gonna destroy it. In the meantime, people have gone back to the island where Mothra's egg was originally from, and are trying to get Mothra to come and help. Eventually, he does. You know, is what it is, right? Now, this movie does some stuff good and it does some stuff bad. A lot of people consider this kind of like the best of the early Godzilla movies. I can kind of see it. It's you know what? It's one of the best of the Godzilla versus things. You know, it doesn't hold a candle to Godzilla or Godzilla Raids Again, but well, actually, you know what? It might be on par with Godzilla Raids Again. I'll say that. All in all, though, a really solid Godzilla movie. The effects on Mothra, I have to say, are actually pretty top notch. Really, when you really look at it and everything, there's some stuff that's not great, but I'll get to that after. So what this movie does right is it makes Godzilla a villain. Good thing. Uh, a good chunk of it is more serious. I mean, yeah, there's the funny elements, obviously. I mean, you're talking about like a giant moth and like little fairy princesses or whatever. You know, you gotta take that for what you will. The suit, on the other hand, Godzilla's suit, is pretty decent. This is the beginning of the, I don't want to say googly eyed Godzilla, but like with the big eyes and, like more emotive. One thing I didn't like, though, is the fact that this Godzilla, like in King Kong versus Godzilla, starts getting more like human again. He's like throwing rocks and everything. It's like, you don't need to do that. At least that's my opinion, at least. Um, but overall, it's one of the better Godzilla movies, one of the better Showa era Godzilla flicks. For rating, I give this 7.5 out of 10. You know, like I said, it's not on the level of Godzilla or Godzilla Raids Again, but it's sort of just below that. And they're pretty good that way, honestly. Um, this particular release is through Classic Media, right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Classic Media. Um, I've said before they do actually some pretty good releases. What's neat about this is it has both the U.S. and the Japanese cut, but for the first time, actually, there's very little difference. I mean, I think. Let me see if there's a time. Yeah, there's like 30 seconds difference. That's it. And I get the feeling that's just in like the opening credits. Honestly, um, Another neat thing in this I got to bring up is I get the feeling that during the filming, the mouth on Godzilla, the top part, must have come loose from being glued down because it kind of like wobbles and like almost like jowls and everything. And it's actually kind of cool. It actually makes Godzilla seem more like an actual being and less of a guy in a suit, you know? And another thing I do like also is the sheer amount of times he uses his atomic breath in this. It's like he realizes Mothra's a genuine threat, so he's like not messing around. I'm just gonna keep blasting. Good stuff. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10. It's not perfect. Then again, very few movies are, but it's one of the better ones. So yeah, Mothra versus Godzilla, good stuff. I'll leave a trailer below. Also, my merch shop and Patreon. If you feel like helping out the channel, would be appreciated. If not, that's all right. That's it for now. See you next time.